Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I'm gonna do a little bit of improvisation using Sverchok and Blender cycles. Basically, this is kind of inspired by an article. I think I put the link down below. The article kind of mentioned a procedure to make something looks like a watercolor of some sort. And the idea is just like using a single shapes like a blob shapes, and then you kind of randomizing the edges with different transparency. So yeah, I thought I might try to do that as well. So let's save this real quick. So this is like maybe watercolor like. We're gonna use just a simple shapes, but imagine we can apply this for any shapes that you have, like any 2D shapes. Should be the same idea. So we can use circle or n-gon, but I will use n-gon because n-gon has a couple of parameters that we can use to our advantage, like this random r and phi. I will actually output a polyline viewer for this. Polyline viewer is of course a curve, so if we kind of plug in the n-gon into this guy, right away we get a curve by default. You don't need to plug in edges or polygon, because if we switch to 2D, I think it should understand it. If we turn on close, it should generate 2D shapes, and we can actually quickly colorize it and stuff. And this side, of course, controlling the number of points for this n-gon. What's interesting, of course, is the random r and random phi. So that's interesting. The shift, I don't know what the shift does actually. It's been quite a while. Shift, I think supposed to shift the point. Let me use index viewer, plug in the vertices there, and look at the number of vertices. See, the shift doesn't work. Anyway, doesn't matter. We just worry about the curve. If you want to make like a random number of curve, all with different seed, we can easily do that simply by using the matrix here. Any matrix transformation you put, especially with locations, will generate more curves. Let's say if we use like a random vector, plug into the rotations, make this like a 10, we have see a bunch of shapes, same shapes, randomized at a 10 random position. You can use range integer with the same count, 10, 10, plug into this guy, and we have 10 random shapes at 10 different positions. So that's very important and very cool that we can easily do that. I will use cycles and specify it here. So every material, every shapes get the same material for now. We're gonna randomize it using cycles at some point. So this is blobs. For the blobs itself, if you want to smooth it and do randomizations, you can definitely do that. Like, in fact, let's try doing that. Vector interpolations, and let's see. Range float between 0 and 1. This is going to be the number of resampling value. So that's going to generate exactly that. More interesting shapes. And if you want, you can further randomize input vertices here and increase the X and Y. Don't do the Z. If you can, if you like, but I don't think we need to do that. And turn on B-spline as well to get a smooth blob. So this is kind of nice, I thought. Very nice technique. And you can, instead of using random, you can do other things. Actually, I probably gonna keep the random. maybe for now I'm just gonna use a line. The line should grow set by default it's in X, so if I increase this number, it's gonna kind of distribute it in X. For the number, I will make sure it's the same number here and there. Okay, so we can have like unlimited number of blob. I think that's very nice, very procedural like. And so if I reduce the stepping, actually change the stepping to Z, we can kind of stack it up. The bevel, I think this control the thickness. Okay, I'll make it super thin. File, save as, continue on. I can have unlimited number of blob, like I say. Be careful, sometimes give you a spike like that, but if you get spike, just find the one that's good. Maybe reduce the random R and reduce the random phi. Yeah, I think I quite like it like this. Maybe make it like 30 for now. Reduce the step. We want it as flat as possible for our purpose. So this is, you can see the wireframe. By randomizing the transparency, we should get some kind of watercolor look. But I think you need a lot of sampling somewhere here. Oops. Maybe I need to randomize this seed as well. Maybe like that. Yeah, kind of try pushing it too much. But anyway, now we can switch to cycles. I'm gonna save this. Select our material. If we want like a random color, you know the drill. Just since we have like multiple objects here, just plug random into something like color ramp. Although in this case we want to play around with the transparency. For now, let's just play with this a bit. Color ramp, I think we need gradient as well. Random goes in there. HSV, try different color. So yeah, okay. Render it out. We get some kind of something that looks like a pie on top of each other, like a pancake. Ambient occlusion, yeah. The material currently is a diffuse material, but we want it to be transparent. So instead of diffuse shader, transparent, try transparent, and we want it to have two. Excuse me. I just found out about this. We have like mix shader and add shader. Add shader actually will add the shader, so you end up with white if it's maximum or over the limit, while mix shader will kind of give you black. I'll show you what I mean. So this is the shader, same shader on top of each other, we get black. But if we use the add shader, it's like the color is keep adding and you get white. I might need to increase the number of light path shading. Let me try 12 for this. I'm still getting black down there. Maybe I need to have light as well. Oh well, but I mean the mixing of color give you white. Anyway, so let's add shadow doesn't have mixing value. Maybe I need to have 2 of this. Try this goes in there. Let's go back to Sverchok and maybe reduce the number of blob. Reduce it to 8. Now we can see it's not. Maybe it's the number of transparent mix. Maybe I need to increase the number of this diffuse whatever transmission. So it's starting to look like watercolor of some sort, like a very stylized look. Imagine having these shapes for multiple shapes, and you might get something better. I think we need to have more resolutions for the curve itself in order to get the watercolor look. But this is pretty much the theory or the procedure. Can be improved, of course. So this is, if we are using a mix shader, it's actually quite interesting as well. The background, give it a kind of grayish. Go back to Sverchok. And we can play with the seed. We can play with this amplitude. And maybe increase this number, 100. Let's see what happens if we turn off B-spline. Okay, this one, we get a very messy looking mesh. Maybe this is too much. Let's try now. Yeah, it's rather quite abstract looking, but definitely interesting. Let's try this one. Okay, and switch to add. So yeah, I think maybe there is something that I miss somewhere in order to get like a more like a watercolor look. I think we shouldn't randomize every points in the edge. Maybe if we are like more selective, maybe using noise, the part that's very random is gonna be like more transparent looking, while the one that's not random is more smooth and opaque. So that's the idea. And of course, with the transparency at the moment, I'm actually using different color. And the idea is, of course, using maybe one color and then with random transparency. So that's maybe where I was slightly wrong there. That's more like cycles kind of thinking. Back to B-spline, smooth, and maybe this is also like a bit too random. Maybe if I get rid of the randomness with the shapes, let me try. If I cut this, so we have one shapes with some kind of randomizations. This might actually give a more interesting result. So vector interpolations, range integer. Oh, this one didn't do the job properly, I just realized. I was expecting it to move the points per shapes didn't seem to do the job. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Vector interpolation, maybe UV connection here. Yeah, I think I made a mistake there. Or maybe I need to use the seed. Yeah, maybe this is more correct. Maybe, but I think I will have to investigate that. But I guess this is pretty much it for live noding. It's a bit of improvisation, so I don't know where this one is going, but I hope this is useful for you. Let me know what you think. Any question, feedback, suggestion, maybe to improve this, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.